going on, NBA fans? Welcome into NBA Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman. Coming up on today's show, want to get you guys the latest trade rumors around these three players. We got two Chicago Bulls, Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic, and then also Brandon Ingram. And if I had to personally call what NBA stars are going to be traded before the NBA trade deadline, these three would headline my list. But before we dive into that, if you guys want just more NBA videos from us here at Chat Sports, just go down there and hit that thumbs up icon. We know it's in the peak of the NFL season, but I know there are some hoop heads out there that love our NBA content. So if you guys want more NBA videos from us here at Chat Sports, whether it's me, Nick Roloff, just make sure you guys do hit that thumbs up button and send our bosses a message here that the fans want some more NBA videos. So let's dive into the latest report we're hearing around Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic. This is coming in from Bulls insider, works for the Chicago Sun-Times, Joe Cali. He put out a report saying the Bulls are looking to trade both Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic. And, you know, it kind of feels like Groundhog Day here because for the past two seasons, I feel like we have gotten this report at least 50 times that the Bulls are trying to move off those two, but a trade has yet to come to fruition. But I will give these two credit. You know, with their name, headlining trade rumors throughout the season, they have actually had a great start to their 2024 year. I mean, Zach LaVine, numbers on the left, Nikola Vucevic, numbers on the right here. Vuce averaging 20.5 points per game, shooting very, very efficiently from beyond the arc. He was a poor three-point shooter last NBA season, but this year he's definitely turned it around. And then same with LaVine. Like, both these guys are playing very, very efficient basketball. Now, has this resulted in wins for the Chicago Bulls? No. And I think what the Bulls are trying to do here is, you know, pretty interesting. It doesn't necessarily seem like they are all in on winning games to start the season. It kind of feels like the Bulls are just trying to get good tape out for these two guys, LaVine and Vooch, and then hopefully they're able to deal them at the NBA trade deadline and kind of start this rebuild and youth movement in Chicago. But, you know, point being, the Bulls need to do something. Like, they are stuck in the NBA purgatory where they're not good enough to compete for championships, but they're not bad enough to go land one of the top prospects. And with the Eastern Conference, how it started so far this season, the Bulls have no chance to even win one playoff series. So if I'm running the Bulls, I am cleaning house. I am trading LaVine. I am trading Vooch for whatever you can get. And maybe we could see a very hard tank here in Chicago for, you know, whether that's Cooper Flagg, Ace Bailey. I mean, this draft class has true stars throughout the whole first round, specifically the lottery. But what teams could trade for Zach LaVine? I think the number one team we have to talk about here is the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, I think if you look at, you know, the problems with trading LaVine, it is no doubt his contract making over $42 million over the next 3 seasons, and it's just going to be tough for a team that will be, or tough for a team to be willing to take on that deal. But the Lakers, with LeBron and AD still playing at a very, very high level and still having a need to have a third star and a tertiary scorer on this team, I think LaVine makes a lot of sense for the Lakers, so watch out for them. And then this has been my dark horse team trading for LaVine for the whole season. It's the San Antonio Spurs, because like I just said, what are the red flags around LaVine? It's his contract, and then also his probably inability to defend at a high level. Well, the Spurs, they still got Wemby on his rookie deal, and then also Wemby being one of the best defenders in the league, I think you could put him out there. I actually love the 1-2 punch of LaVine and Wemby. I think they would take their offense to a next level, and their defense would still be very solid with obviously having Wemby being that backbone. And plus, if you want to try to make some noise in the Western Conference, I'm not saying a LaVine trade would get them over the hump, but it would definitely have them competing for a playoff spot. So watch out for them. Then also another young and up-and-coming team. I got the Detroit Pistons on here. Now, I think this is a little unlikely, but again, if you're looking at the whole landscape of the NBA, maybe the Pistons are like, hey, we got a chance to be a play-in team this year. Let's just get LaVine on our roster and then hopefully try to make the playoffs. I mean, that would be a huge accomplishment for that Pistons organization. So I got them at number 3. Now, number 4, I thought this was a lot more likely before the season. LaVine going to the Miami Heat. I think they obviously have a need for a third scoring option and a third star, and LaVine would be a good fit down there with that Heat culture. But Tyler Hero has really emerged. He's having a great season, so he's kind of stepping into being that third star, tertiary scoring option. Miami's problems mainly just start with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo playing at a top 15 player in the world type of basketball. So watch out for the Heat. And then I'm going to throw a wild card out there. The Orlando Magic. Now, I think the Magic love their young core. I don't know if they're going to be too aggressive in making a trade, but if they just want to add some more firepower to this team, like, I don't hate the idea of them going and getting Zach LaVine. But I think the two most likely, Lakers and Spurs, and a significant drop-off on who would be the next team that would trade for LaVine. But I just gave you guys 5 teams. You guys just got to give me one. Who will trade for Zach LaVine, as I think this is finally the time that the Chicago Bulls front office truly just cleans house and trades their 2 stars. So let me know who would trade for Zach LaVine. Type that team in the comment section. Now, coming up next here on the program, we got Nikola Vucevic trade destinations and also the latest around Brandon Ingram. I'll tell you guys about that here in a second. But first, got to give a massive, massive, massive shout out to today's presenting sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. And if you guys download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS, you guys will get $50 instantly. That is $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. But what is Prize Picks? Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Now, for example, if you think Steph Curry will get more than 5 3-pointers next week, or if you think Giannis more than 30 points, cook up hot takes with your friends and win real money this basketball season when you and your crew run your game on Prize Picks. You know, there's a lot of boring games in the NBA, a lot of bad basketball teams, but if you guys want to increase your viewing experience and just take it to another level, Prize Picks is the #1 way to do so. So download the app today. Use promo code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you create your first $5 lineup. Download the app today. Use code CLNS. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. But massive, massive shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring today's show. Prize Picks. Run your game. Alrighty, Vooch trade destinations. Now, Vooch has had a great year. He's shooting 46% from 3. I think he's a very underrated playmaker when he's kind of playing in that 4-on-3 role where maybe he sets a screen, they blitz the ball handler, he's got it, attacking 4-on-3. I feel like he's actually been pretty solid in that spot. And my top Vooch trade destination is the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, you know, they have either Daniel Tice or Yves Missi running that 5 spot. And even though the Pelicans have started off the season very poorly, like when I'm filming this, they're 4-14, but, you know, they definitely still have a need at that center position, and I could see them trying to swing a trade for Vooch. But how about this team, the Golden State Warriors? Now, they're off to a great start to the year. Really have turned some heads in the NBA. You know, Steph Curry still looks like prime Steph Curry. I mean, this man is just incredible. And, you know, if they really want to take advantage of Curry's last few years of playing top 5 player in the world caliber basketball, Vooch wouldn't be a bad option. Now, I would have questions about the fit offensively in terms of, you know, Golden State's loves running that just constant motion offense. And, you know, it's not really Vooch's strong suit, but the Bulls also have been playing like that a little bit this year where it's just constant motion with Josh Giddey running the show, and Vooch has excelled in that situation. But also this, I still think the Spurs are a team to watch out for in terms of making a big-time move at the NBA trade deadline. And I actually love the front court of Vooch and Wemby, even though Vooch is a terrible defender. When you're playing next to Wemby, it'd be a good yin and yang with their games where both of them could spread the floor very well. You have a big feel to your team, and you would also have some elite rim protection still with Wemby in that lineup, so watch out for them. Now, this one, pretty unlikely here. I don't think the Knicks would do it. But let's just say something happens to Mitchell Robinson. He's not able to come back. You know, that injury is, you know, keeps him out of the lineup for maybe the whole season or whatever it may be. Then maybe the Knicks could be in the center market. Again, I think this one's a little more unlikely, but clearly Leon Rose and that Knicks front office, they are going to be aggressive. And who knows, maybe Nikola Vucevic will end up playing his ball in Madison Square Garden. Now, a team that is clearly looking for a center is the Los Angeles Lakers. And kind of the same argument I made for the Spurs. The Lakers could just use a center next to Anthony Davis where he can play more of a 4, and then, you know, you still have a big feel to you. You would be elite offensively in the front court, but you would still have that true backbone of a defense in AD. And plus, the Lakers, they can't hang with the Nuggets. You need more size to play Denver and Nikola Jokic, and I think Vooch could be that guy. But let's shift this show to talking about Brandon Ingram. And we are still hearing that the Pelicans are looking to trade Brandon Ingram, even though they have had a horrible start to their season. I mean, the fact they traded 2 firsts with DeJounte Murray, and it just really hasn't worked out. I mean, that trade might set back this Pelicans team a couple years, but let's talk about BI. So this year in just 16 games played as we are recording, averaging just under 23 points a game. I've always felt like he's been an underrated playmaker. He's kind of a true point forward, but, which is kind of more of the same with Ingram this year. I think he's just going to be a guy who will, no matter what, average 23 points, around 5 assists, 5 boards, be sort of efficient from the field and sort of efficient from beyond the arc. But Ingram's a guy that I think teams could be calling on, considering he is just on a one-year deal. You could view him as sort of a rental to get you over the hump this year, but you don't need to commit to him long-term. So I got 5 teams. How about number 1, the Miami Heat? Similar reasons to why we were talking about Zach LaVine heading down there, them still having a need for that third-star tertiary scoring option. I could see the Heat swinging big. They kind of swung big last year with Terry Rozier. Maybe they toss a first-round pick, get Brandon Ingram for 1 season, see if they can go on a run in the East, and then also you're not committed to him for the next couple of seasons. Now, I'm going to throw this one out there. No reports, haven't heard anything about the Cavs being interested in Ingram. A little reckless speculation here. Cavs are off to an unbelievable start. And I'm not saying they would break up the core of Garland, Mitchell, and Mobley, but if you want to add some more size and you just want to add another guy you can throw the ball to late in playoff games and just say, hey, go create an open shot for yourself or for others, Ingram wouldn't be a bad option. So Cleveland, I don't know how aggressive they'll be this year, but with them off to a hot start, I'm assuming they're going to be picking up the phones and calling a bunch of teams. And, third time I got the Spurs mentioned today. I just still have a feeling like they're going to try to go on a playoff, maybe not deep playoff run, but at least just try to make the first round, because I bet you they view as, the Victor Wembanyama kind of process here. They would love to get him some playoff experience early on in his career. Trading for a guy like Ingram would definitely, help improve your chances. And, how about this team, the Brooklyn Nets? Maybe if they just want to, dump Ben Simmons, toss his $40 million expiring contract for a $33 million expiring contract in Brandon Ingram, maybe that makes some sense. So, again, keep your eyes out for the Nets. I think they could be making a trade. And I'll throw the Chicago Bulls on this list. Now, maybe this is a Vooch for Brandon Ingram trade, and the Bulls, with Patrick Williams, they're starting small forward, now missing time due to a wrist injury. Maybe they're going to say, hey, let's trade from Ingram, get Josh Giddey another wing on the perimeter that he can get the ball to. I think it makes a lot of sense. Plus, the Bulls wouldn't be committed to Ingram, and we know that Bulls front office, they're going to want to remain somewhat competitive, and Ingram is, definitely that guy. So that is the latest trade rumors around Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic, and Brandon Ingram. But if you guys made it to the end of today's show, just give me a real one down below in the comments section, and we'll see you NBA fans next time. Thank you guys so much for watching today's show.